Knowledge becomes wisdom only after it has been put into practice. Shi Heng Yi. Could your refrigerator be silently stealing flavor, nutrition, and even safety from the foods you trust most? Which 9 everyday items should seniors never chill? And what simple swaps will protect your taste, your gut, and your long-term health? Stay with me to uncover the 9 foods that suffer in the cold and the calm, practical ways to store them right, especially important for seniors who want better flavor, better digestion, and safer kitchens. The last item influences heart-smart eating, and along the way, I'll share rare exceptions that save money and prevent waste. The cold trap. Why the fridge isn't always your friend. Refrigerators are remarkable for keeping dairy, meat, and leftovers safe. But cold equals safe is not always true for plants, bread, oils, and a few pantry staples. Many foods evolve to thrive in warm fields, dry cellars, or shaded markets. When they meet refrigerator-level code, things change. Cells rupture, aromas fade, and textures go wrong. This is called chilling injury, and it happens to a number of fruits and vegetables when temperatures dip below about 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius. For seniors who may already notice a lower sense of taste and smell, this matters. If a tomato tastes dull and mealy, you might add more salt or sauces to fix it. Over time, that habit can raise blood pressure or upset digestion. Protecting flavor is not just about pleasure, it's also about health. Another quiet problem is moisture. Refrigerators cycle in humidity and produce condensation. When you move certain foods in and out, tiny droplets form on surfaces. That water invites mold, turns skin soft, and spreads odors. The fridge is like a crowded market where smells trade places. Coffee picks up onion notes. Bread gets stale. Olive oil loses its fresh, peppery lift when it's repeatedly chilled and warmed. And when starchy foods like potatoes get cold, their starch starts converting to sugars. Cook those sweetened potatoes at very high heat and they can form more acrylamide, a compound you want to keep low. With age, our digestion can be more sensitive. Softer textures are helpful, but mushy or waterlogged food is not satisfying. Balanced appetites depend on aromas, crunch, and color. So the way you store food can support your desire to eat well without forcing extra salt, sugar, or heavy sauces. The goal is simple. Keep what should be cool in the fridge and keep what prefers the pantry out of it. When we say never refrigerate, we mean the raw, whole version of that food. There are sensible exceptions. Cut produce must be refrigerated. Garlic in oil must be kept cold for safety. Ripe bananas can go into the fridge to pause ripening. Cooked potatoes can be chilled for a different health benefit. You'll learn each exception as we go. Shi Heng Yi teaches that consistency builds mastery. Apply that to your kitchen. Choose the right spot for each food and repeat the habit. You'll taste the difference in a week, waste less, and feel more confident. Let's step through the 9 foods seniors should keep out of the refrigerator and why each choice supports better flavor, safer meals, and a calmer, simpler routine. Number 1. Tomatoes. Guard their aroma, lycopene, and bite. Tomatoes are one of the most sensitive foods to chilling injury. Below about 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius, their cell membranes lose integrity. The result is a grainy, mealy bite and a muted aroma. That smell you love in a summer tomato, the green, floral, slightly sweet scent, comes from delicate aromatic compounds that fade in the cold. When flavor fades, you're more likely to reach for extra salt or sugar to compensate. For seniors watching blood pressure or managing taste changes, that's not ideal. There's another plus to room temperature. Lycopene, the red pigment linked to heart health, develops best as tomatoes ripen off the vine at moderate temperatures. Cold slows or halts that process. Storing tomatoes is simple. Keep whole tomatoes at room temperature. away from direct sunlight, with the stem side facing down. This reduces air exchange at the scar and slows moisture loss. If you want to quicken ripening, place them near but not touching an ethylene producer like a banana or ripe apple for a day or two. If you want to slow ripening, separate them and give them airspace. Never store whole tomatoes in plastic bags, which trap moisture and encourage rot. A shallow bowl or a ventilated basket is best. What if you've already refrigerated them? Don't worry, you can still make them shine. Bring them back to room temperature and give them time, 12 to 24 hours, so the aromas can revive a bit. Cold damaged tomatoes may still be wonderful when roasted, simmered into a sauce, or blended into a soup. Heat concentrates flavor and restores depth. A tray of halved tomatoes, drizzled with olive oil, sprinkled with garlic, and slowly roasted, becomes sweet and savory, even if the tomatoes were chilled before. Safety has one clear rule. Once you cut a tomato, refrigerate the slices in a sealed container and use them within 1 to 2 days. Before serving, let them warm slightly on the counter for 10 to 15 minutes to boost flavor. If a tomato looks wrinkled but not moldy, cook it the same day. Don't put it back in the fridge and hope for the best. And if you enjoy tomatoes for heart health, remember that cooked tomato with olive oil improves lycopene absorption. By keeping whole tomatoes out of the fridge and handling cut pieces with care, you'll protect taste, reduce waste, and support your overall eating experience. Number 2, potatoes. The hidden sugar swap and acrylamide concern. Raw potatoes and cold do not mix. At refrigerator temperatures, enzymes convert potato starch into simple sugars, a process called cold sweetening. You can taste it, a strangely sweet, uneven flavor and a texture that cooks up differently. This matters for 2 reasons. First, those extra sugars can make roasted or fried potatoes brown too fast on the outside while staying undercooked inside. Second, when simple sugars meet the amino acid asparagine at high heat, they can form acrylamide, a compound we try to minimize. For seniors watching blood sugar or aiming for heart-smart cooking, it's a small but meaningful detail. The way you store the potato changes how healthy it is on the plate. The best home for raw potatoes is a cool, dark, dry place, ideally 45 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit or 7 to 13 degrees Celsius, like a pantry, cellar, or a shaded cabinet away from the stove. Use a paper or mesh bag for airflow. Keep potatoes away from onions. Together, they spoil faster. Check the pile weekly. Remove any that show soft spots or damp patches. If a potato has turned green or tastes bitter, that signals solanine, a natural toxin formed by light exposure. Discard green potatoes. For minor sprouts, cut them out generously and cook promptly. If the whole potato is heavily sprouted and wrinkled, compost it. Cooking methods matter too. If you like fries or roasted chunks, soak cut potatoes in cold water for 30 minutes, then rinse and pat dry. This removes some surface starch and can reduce acrylamide formation. Bake or roast at moderate temperatures and avoid dark, deep browning. For mash or salads, boiling or steaming keeps temperatures lower and produces a gentle texture that's easy to chew and digest. Season with herbs, pepper, garlic, or a drizzle of olive oil to lift flavor without extra salt. There is one useful exception. Once a potato is cooked, chilling it can increase resistant starch, which acts more like fiber and may reduce the glycemic impact. That means leftover cooked potatoes cooled in the fridge can be a smart choice for blood sugar. Reheating will keep some of that effect. So the rule is simple: never refrigerate raw potatoes. Cook first, then feel free to chill. If you've accidentally stored raw potatoes in the fridge, use them in wetter methods like soups, stews, or curries rather than high heat frying. The moisture helps even out cooking and reduces over browning. By treating potatoes with patience, cool, dark storage,
careful trimming, and mindful cooking, you'll get all their comfort without the unwanted side effects. Number 3, onions. Keep them firm and fragrant, not damp and funky. Whole, dry onions prefer the pantry, not the refrigerator. In the fridge, humidity softens their papery skins and encourages mold, while cold can shift their texture from crisp to rubbery. Worse, refrigerators are crowded with aromas. Onions both release and absorb smells, so their own clean, sharp character can become muddled. For seniors who rely on aroma to spark appetite, a fresh, steady onion profile makes simple meals more satisfying. The fridge risks turning that into a damp, confused scent, and nobody enjoys that. Store whole onions in a cool, dark, well-ventilated place. A wire basket, a mesh bag, or a ventilated drawer works well. Keep them away from potatoes, which release moisture and gases that speed each other's decline. Choose onions that feel heavy for their size, with tight skins. Avoid soft spots. If you buy sweet onions like Vidalia, remember they have more moisture and a shorter shelf life. Use them sooner and keep airflow strong. Check your stash once a week. Remove any with mold or softening and keep the rest dry and separated. There are important exceptions. As soon as you cut an onion, refrigeration becomes the safe choice. Place cut halves or slices in a sealed container, used within 3 to 4 days. Let refrigerated onion warm for 10 minutes before cooking to revive its aroma. If you cook for one, try dicing a whole onion, using what you need, and freezing the rest flat in a bag. Frozen onion is perfect for soups, stews, and sautés. Don't thaw for raw salads, it will be soft, but it's excellent for cooked dishes and reduces waste. Not all onions behave the same way. Green onions, scallions, leeks, and chives are higher moisture alliums and belong in the fridge, loosely wrapped and kept dry. Shallots sit in between. They store well at room temperature like onions, but cut shallots should be refrigerated. These nuances help you set up a simple system. Dry bulbs out of the fridge, cut pieces in, tender alliums like scallions in the fridge.
For flavor and comfort, try sweating onions gently in a little olive oil until translucent. This pulls out sweetness and makes them easier to digest. If raw onion bothers you, soak thin slices in cold water for 10 minutes to remove harshness. Season with a light pinch of salt after draining. With smart storage and small kitchen habits, onions become a dependable tool for tasty, low-sodium cooking. Number 4. Garlic. Powerful aroma, quiet risks, and the right storage. Whole garlic bulbs are happiest in a dry, dark, airy spot at room temperature. The fridge may seem safe, but cold encourages sprouting and can dull flavor, leaving cloves rubbery rather than crisp. For seniors who cook simple meals and appreciate big flavor from small ingredients, garlic is a champion. If you treat it well, proper storage not only preserves taste, but also supports the potential benefits associated with garlic's active compounds, such as allicin, which are linked to heart-friendly eating patterns. Keep bulbs whole until you need them. Once you break the head, use the remaining cloves within a couple of weeks. A small ceramic or metal garlic keeper with ventilation works nicely, but a paper bag in a drawer is fine too. When a clove sprouts a green shoot, it's still safe to eat, but the flavor turns sharper and sometimes bitter. You can slice the clove in half and remove the green germ to soften the taste. If the clove is soft or moldy, discard it. To get the most from garlic, chop or crush it and let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes before cooking. This waiting period helps form allicin, the compound behind both flavor and potential health benefits. If raw garlic is too strong for your stomach, cook it gently until fragrant but not browned. Burnt garlic tastes bitter and can upset digestion. Now, a critical safety note. Garlic and oil at room temperature can lead to botulism, a rare but serious illness. If you like infused oil or pre-made garlic and oil, keep it refrigerated immediately after preparing and use it within 7 days or freeze it in small portions. Never store garlic and oil on the counter. This is one of those essential exceptions where the fridge protects you. Peeled, ready-to-use garlic cloves can be kept in the fridge in a sealed container for a short time. though they'll slowly lose aroma. For convenience, many home cooks freeze minced garlic in small spoonfuls. Frozen garlic is great for cooking, but isn't ideal for raw dressings, where fresh aroma makes a big difference. If you enjoy the mellow flavor of roasted garlic, bake whole heads wrapped in foil at a low temperature until soft, then squeeze out the paste. Freeze portions for easy use in spreads and soups. By leaving whole garlic out of the fridge and using the fridge only when safety demands, you'll keep cloves lively, protect their character, and avoid risky shortcuts. That balance supports satisfying flavor and thoughtful, low-stress cooking. Number 5. Bread, the stealth staler in your fridge. Bread in the refrigerator goes stale fast. It isn't your imagination, it's a process called starch retrogradation. After baking, the starch molecules in bread are soft and flexible. Cold temperatures cause them to recrystallize, pushing water out and making the crumb firm and dry. The result is bread that seems old even when it's only a day or two in the fridge. For seniors who prefer softer textures for comfort and safety, this dryness is more than a nuisance. Hard bread can be tough to chew and easier to choke on. Keep bread out of the fridge to preserve tenderness and pleasure. Room temperature storage is ideal for short-term use. Place bread in a bread box, a paper bag, or loosely wrapped cloth to balance airflow and moisture. Eat it within a couple of days. For longer storage, slice the loaf and freeze it in a freezer bag with as much air removed as possible. Take out only what you need and toast straight from frozen. This keeps texture and flavor close to fresh with minimal waste. If you buy artisan loaves with thick crusts, you can revive slices in a warm oven for a few minutes to re-gelatinize starch and bring back that fresh-baked feel. Mold is another concern. The fridge slows mold but ruins texture. The freezer prevents mold and protects quality. If you see visible mold on a loaf, discard the whole thing. Mold roots spread beyond the green or white patches you can see. To reduce mold risk at room temperature, keep bread out of the sun and steam and make sure the bag isn't damp. If humidity is high in your kitchen, store smaller loaves and freeze the extra from day one.
Bread has many second lives, helping you save money and reduce waste. Turn day-old slices into croutons with a little olive oil and herbs. Pulse stale ends into bread crumbs for meatballs or veggie patties. Make bread puddings or strata with eggs and vegetables for an easy, soft, high-protein meal. For seniors who need gentle textures, soak stale bread in broth to soften, then blend it into soups for body without cream. Finally, aim for balance. Choose whole grain breads for more fiber, which supports regularity and heart health. Pair bread with protein or healthy fats to keep energy steady. By keeping bread out of the fridge and using your freezer strategically, you'll enjoy better texture, reduce waste, and make bread a friend to both taste and health. Number 6. Honey, nature's shelf-stable sweetness. Honey is a natural marvel. Low water activity, mild acidity, and antimicrobial compounds help it resist spoilage at room temperature. Put it in the fridge, though, and you invite rapid crystallization. The sugars in honey, especially glucose, form crystals faster in the cold, turning your smooth pour into a gritty lump. That change is not dangerous, but it makes honey hard to use and can tempt you to overheat it to fix the texture, which can dull flavor and damage delicate aroma notes. For seniors who enjoy a spoon in tea or a light drizzle on yogurt, room temperature honey is easier to manage and tastes better. The best storage is simple: a tightly sealed glass jar in a cool, dry pantry away from sunlight and heat. Keep the rim clean to avoid sticky buildup that attracts moisture and ants. If your honey crystallizes at room temperature, and some varieties do, especially raw clover or rapeseed honey, place the jar in a warm water bath, stirring occasionally until the crystals dissolve. Avoid boiling. You can also enjoy crystallized honey as a spread. It's delightful on toast and has a pleasant, gentle sweetness. Honey is calorie-dense, so modest portions make sense, especially for seniors balancing blood sugar. Pair honey with protein or fiber, like nuts, seeds, or yogurt, to slow absorption. If you're managing diabetes, work with your care team on total carbohydrate goals and consider using honey more for flavor accents than as a primary sweetener. Darker honeys can offer richer flavors and may contain more antioxidants,
but the main health value comes from choosing honey in place of highly processed syrups and using it mindfully. Safety is straightforward. Never give honey to infants under 1 year due to botulism risk. For older children and adults, honey is safe. If you like to make honey lemon drinks for a sore throat, keep the honey at room temperature and add it after the hot water cools a bit to preserve flavor. If you enjoy infused honey with herbs or spices, make small batches, keep tools clean and dry, and sealed tightly. Because honey draws in moisture, avoid double dipping with wet spoons. By skipping the refrigerator, you protect honey's texture, keep flavor bright, and avoid unnecessary fuss. A well-kept jar can last for years. When honey feels easy to use, you'll naturally use less and enjoy it more. That's a simple, satisfying win for your pantry and your palate. Number 7. Coffee, beans, and grounds. Stop the condensation, save the flavor. Coffee is a sponge for aroma and moisture. The refrigerator is full of both. When you move coffee in and out of the fridge, condensation forms on the beans or grounds, speeding oxidation and staling. Meanwhile, coffee absorbs odors from nearby foods. A bag kept beside onions or leftover fish can pick up unwelcome notes. The result is a cup that tastes flat, harsh, or oddly flavored. For seniors who enjoy coffee for focus and comfort, preserving its gentle aroma matters. A smooth cup is easier on the stomach and feels more satisfying, so you naturally drink less and enjoy more. The best strategy is simple. Buy coffee in small amounts and store it in an airtight, opaque container in a cool, dark pantry. Light and air are the enemies. Keep them out. Grind just before brewing if you can. Whole beans hold their character longer than pre-ground coffee. If you must buy more than you'll use in a couple of weeks, consider freezing portions. Divide the bag into airtight packets sized for a week or less. Freeze them once, and when you open a packet, keep it out of the freezer. Avoid repeated thawing and refreezing. That cycle creates condensation and damages flavor. There's a reason coffee feels rough when stale. Oils on the bean surface go rancid, and aromatic compounds break down. You can reduce bitterness by adjusting brewing. Use fresh, cool water, a moderate grind size, and careful timing. If acidity bothers your stomach, try a coarser grind, a shorter contact time, or cold brew, which extracts fewer acidic compounds. Many seniors feel better with a smaller cup of stronger coffee, or even half calf in the afternoon to protect sleep.
Skip the fridge not only for whole beans, but also for ground coffee and instant coffee. All forms soak up moisture and odors. Keep your containers sealed between uses, and don't store coffee above the stove where heat rises. If you love the smell of your morning brew, treat coffee like a delicate spice. Protecting its fragrance helps you use less sugar or flavored creamers to chase missing taste. If caffeine isn't for you, decaf can still be flavorful, especially if you buy a fresh roast and store it right. Choose decaf processed by the Swiss water method if you prefer fewer chemical solvents. In all cases, a clean, cool pantry beats the refrigerator. That small habit delivers a big lift in daily pleasure. Number 8. Bananas. Let them ripen right. Bananas are tropical. Their cells and skin were never meant for the chill of a refrigerator, especially when the fruit is unripe. Cold disrupts enzymes in the peel, turning it gray or black, while the inside becomes dull in flavor and can develop an odd, mushy texture. That's why refrigerated unripe bananas often disappoint. For seniors who value gentle textures with true flavor, letting bananas ripen at room temperature is the path to a sweet, soft, satisfying snack. Set bananas on the counter, away from direct sun and heat. If you want to slow ripening, separate them from each other. If you want to speed ripening, cluster them together or place them in a paper bag with an apple to increase ethylene. Hanging bananas keeps them from bruising and helps airflow. Check daily. A ripe banana, speckled with brown, has peak sweetness and softer texture that's easy to chew. It also provides potassium and fiber, which support heart health and regularity. Pair a banana with a spoon of peanut butter or Greek yogurt for balanced energy. There is one practical exception. Once bananas are fully ripe, you can put them in the fridge to slow further ripening. The peel will darken, but the fruit inside stays relatively stable for a couple of days. This is helpful if you like chilled bananas in yogurt or want to stagger your week's fruit. Don't refrigerate green or barely yellow bananas. The cold interrupts ripening and the flavor never fully develops. If you find yourself with too many ripe bananas, freeze them rather than chilling. Peel, slice, and store in a freezer bag for smoothies, banana nice cream, or baking. Frozen bananas blend into a creamy texture that many seniors find soothing and easy to digest. For breakfast, mash a ripe banana into oatmeal with a sprinkle of cinnamon and chopped nuts. You'll get natural sweetness without added sugar. Be mindful of portion size if you're tracking carbohydrates. A small banana can fit into most plans, especially when paired with protein or fat. If you take certain medications, like ACE inhibitors or potassium-sparing diuretics, talk with your clinician about consistent potassium intake. Most people do fine, but it's good to be aware. In short, keep bananas out of the fridge until they're ripe. Let nature do its work at room temperature. You'll taste the difference and enjoy a fruit that supports comfort, energy, and digestive ease without the letdown of a chilled, flavorless banana. Number 9. Olive oil. Liquid gold needs darkness, not frost. Extra virgin olive oil is more than a cooking fat. It's a fresh fruit juice pressed from olives. Its most appealing qualities, grassy aroma, peppery finish, gentle bitterness, come from delicate compounds that dislike light, heat, air, and moisture. The refrigerator is not their friend. In the cold, olive oil clouds or even solidifies. While this is reversible and not harmful, repeated chilling and warming can draw moisture into the bottle. Moisture plus oxygen invites oxidation and dulls flavor. Over time, that lively, heart-smart oil tastes flat or waxy. For seniors who use olive oil as a cornerstone of a Mediterranean-style pattern, protecting it means protecting a daily health habit. The right home for olive oil is a cool, dark pantry. Keep it tightly capped in a tinted glass bottle or stainless steel container to block light. Avoid storing it near the stove or a sunny window. Buy sizes you can finish in 2 to 3 months. Fresher is better. If you enjoy variety, rotate smaller bottles rather than one big jug. When you open a new bottle, take a moment to smell and taste. A fresh oil should smell green, like tomato leaf or fresh cut grass, and finish with a gentle throat tickle. That little peppery cough is a sign of polyphenols, the compounds associated with olive oil's benefits.
If your kitchen is very warm, you might think the fridge is safer. Instead, choose a cooler cabinet or a small wine cooler set to a stable, moderate temperature. If olive oil accidentally chills and turns cloudy, let it return to room temperature naturally. Do not microwave the bottle. A slow, calm warm-up preserves aroma. Use olive oil in ways that respect its strengths. For cooking, keep heat moderate. Extra virgin olive oil tolerates sautéing and baking, but avoid smoking it. Finishing a dish with a teaspoon of fresh oil adds aroma and pleasure, helping you rely less on salt or heavy sauces. For seniors who want joint-friendly cooking, a small drizzle on roasted vegetables or beans boosts flavor and encourages more vegetable intake, a simple route to better fiber and nutrient diversity. Always trust your senses. If oil smells like crayons, putty, or cardboard, it's likely rancid. Replace it. Consider storing a small working bottle on the counter and the rest sealed in the dark. Don't decant into clear, decorative bottles unless they'll be used quickly. And skip the fridge. Each chill-warm cycle invites condensation that erodes quality. With mindful storage, olive oil remains a daily pleasure and a steady ally for heart health. By understanding which foods belong in the pantry and which truly need the chill, you transform everyday eating. You'll protect flavor, reduce waste, and support steadier, easier eating day after day. Remember, the refrigerator is a powerful tool, but not everything thrives there, especially for seniors who depend on aroma and texture to keep meals enjoyable and nourishing. Before you go, a small, important request. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to our channel, tap the like button, and share this video with a friend or family member who could use a simpler, smarter kitchen. Your support helps us make more practical health content for seniors and caregivers. We'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Which food on the list surprised you the most? What's one storage habit you're changing this week?
Do you have a tip that saves flavor or prevents waste in your home? Turn on notifications so you don't miss our next episode, where we'll cover the flip side, foods you should always refrigerate, and how to organize your fridge to make senior-friendly, heart-smart eating effortless. As Shi Heng Yi would say, small, consistent actions transform outcomes. Keep your pantry calm, your fridge purposeful, and your meals vibrant. Thank you for watching, take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.